Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It's another edition of Ask the County. Joining us this morning, Saginaw County Treasurer, our great friend Tim Novak. Tim, it's good to see you.
Good morning today.
Yeah, so it is hot outside and we are talking about some tips for us to stay cool like during this little heat wave that we're getting. So how does Saginaw County recommend that people prepare for this heat?
So some things you really want to make sure you do is slow down, right? Like the strenuous activity, if you know, maybe instead of golfing in the afternoon, you golf in the morning, or you do your exercise. Are there alternatives you can do it inside? The ideal time of the day is that 4 to 7 a.m. is when it's the coolest, and clearly it's, you know, sometimes that's not for everybody. Stay indoors as much as possible. Clearly, if you have AC, that air conditioning is helpful. If you don't, you know, find those cool places of the house, the lower levels. Close the windows so the sun doesn't come inside. Go to a public building. The library and the mall, maybe two, you know, off the top of my head, or maybe Barnes and Noble. Or get yourself out in places that have air conditioning that you can use. Drink lots of water, even if you don't feel thirsty. And wear kind of light colored clothes, loose clothes. Those are, you know, and avoid caffeine and alcohol. I know they might make us feel better in the short term, but heat, they play different with the heat on our bodies. So you want to be super careful when you're, you know, and having either one of those.
So what are some signs of heat emergencies that we all need to watch out for?
So things like heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke would be the big ones. And then heat exhaustion and heat stroke a little different. Heat exhaustion might have cool, moist, pale skin, a headache, and being dizzy, and your temperature appears normal. Where heat stroke's that whole other level. That's the hot skin, red skin, maybe you're fading in and out of consciousness, rapid breathing, body temperature's up, you know, over 100, 105. So that's where, you know, that's a call 911 call. Where you know, heat exhaustion's more along the lines of cool towels, cool bath, relax. All of them, you know, in a heat cramp, you'd stretch the cramp. And all of them are hydrate and get into an area where it's cooler for any of those. But really want to watch those at this time of year, if you know, because sometimes we have to be outside or we have to exert ourselves. To be super careful about those things and be aware. And don't overdo it. Don't think that your body can handle it. Your body's trying to tell you something. And make
listen to it.
You know, it's trying to tell you that, you know, we're going to have a problem here.
And you know what? Sometimes we put together as a family like a disaster plan. Should that also include when it comes to heat? Because I think a lot of times we just think of like storms or tornadoes for a disaster plan.
You know, because we've been on here, right? We've talked about, you know, whether it's a threat at work, or security-wise, or it's a natural disaster. Well, heat plays its own, you know, role in this, and you can make this a little interactive with the family. You know, ask yourselves, like, what's the safest, coolest place at home, at work, or at school, right? And things like, and then what things can you do to make them that? Close the windows,
close the blinds,
run the fans. You know, once again, go someplace else where it's the public area. You know, change your daily activities. You know, rotate your day around, do things in the morning or in the evening. Types of clothing you might wear, once again. And then discuss helping neighbors, kind of keep an eye on who may or may not have air conditioning, who may need some extra attention, usually the elderly a lot of times. And medications, know what medications your family takes and how heat affects, you know, whether it be blood thinners and different things like that. And then maybe take a first aid course.
Those are all good
kind of like when you're playing at home, kind of things that you're looking at. I know the medication was the one that I had never even thought about.
That's a good one,
you know, like what medications are you or your family members on? And just be careful.
And what resources are available throughout Saginaw County?
So the easiest place, Saginaw County Emergency Preparedness Department is where I go to find all of this information. They had a great resource, a 2-page color pamphlet that talked about things with heat resource, and it's right under, you know, heat emergency, and that's where you want to go, and you want to watch, you know, heat indexes. The dew point, you know, we watch the dew point in my office. It's a lot of big high talk. Anything over 65 and closer to 70 that's humid, it's sticky, and it's a lot less fun than the dry heat.
Not that fun.
No, it's not fun at all. So watch those types of things and watch the heat index, what it really feels like out there. And change your routines. It's okay. This too shall pass, right?
Yep.
I mean, you're already looking at the weekend that might be cooling down.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need to go out and do certain things like, maybe you don't need to golf this afternoon. You can wait till the weekend. And,
Right.
And things like that. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Well, Tim, great tips.
Thank you very much.
Yes, of course. Thank you for being here. And if you have any burning questions that you would like to ask the county, send them on over to us, WNEM@WNEM.com.